Okay, we are going to take a little time here. We are joined by Nathan Klein. There we go. So Nathan is a intern from Indiana. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing this summer.
Okay, so I am interning at Horseshoe Indianapolis as a marketing intern, but I'm going to be introduced and reminded of many facets of the racing industry. Like, I'll get a week in the racing office. It won't just be me marketing, and one cool thing is that I have the opportunity to have my own segment at Horseshoe Indianapolis. They call it Nathan's Horse Racing History Minute. So every Thursday, I get a minute to talk about something that happened in racing history that week. So I can recap something that happened in mid-June, sometime in history, that involved racing.
That's pretty neat. We're all about history here. We certainly are. Now, even though you're a thoroughbred guy, you're kind of leaning over or getting some interest in harness racing?
I'd say, yeah. I've always respected harness racing because they race more than us. They're strong, even-tempered, just the real unsung blue-collar heroes of racing, in my opinion. You can't hate a standard bred.
That's absolutely true.
We like the way you talk. And Nathan, of course you're interning, but you're also in a racing program, right?
That is correct.
School?
Yes, I am going to college at the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program, which is the only one of its kind. It's a 4-year program in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, entirely about horse racing. You can take classes about horse racing. Like, my homework could be writing a condition book for a hypothetical race meet or a simulcast schedule for like a parimutuel track. So on and so forth. You get homework about horse racing, so it doesn't feel like homework.
I'll bet.
Can you tell us, did you grow up in racing? Why the interest? Why are we in school for this?
Well, it actually did not start with my family. I know a lot of people, they started because they had someone in racing. Me, it wasn't the case. I grew up in North Carolina, which has no horse racing to speak of, and my family's last experience with horse racing was in the 1970s in New York. Although they did grow up really close to Roosevelt Raceway, but they never went. But it all started with horse riding as a form of actual therapy for both my mind and my body for coordination. And then my grandmother decided to show me a horse race on the television, and that's kind of when the bug bit me.
What's been your favorite class so far?
Favorite class? That is a tough one. Because
tell us many then.
Let's see. There's a racing law class, so you get to learn all the ins and outs of like racing law and enforcement. I even got my name featured in one of the test questions, which was kind of funny. The question was, if I'm applying for a trainer, to be a trainer, what amendment do I waive? I waive the Fourth Amendment. So they're allowed to search and seize my house without a warrant. It was a good way for me to learn that lesson in racing law. There's one where you get to be a racing secretary, so you get to run a hypothetical racetrack. There's an entire class dedicated to horse conformation, so you learn about the form and function of the equine athlete. You get to read books, watch videos. One of my favorite parts is some of the bonus questions, because they're so silly. Like, one of the bonus questions was, who was this horse? And the horse was named Izzy Vungu Vungu. But I got a bonus point for that. Or I got a bonus point for remembering my teacher's favorite West Virginia sire.
Oh, wow.
It's that kind of personableness that makes it so awesome.
How many kids are in a typical class there?
It depends on whether it includes people who are in the equine veterinary part of just horses. Okay. Sometimes it's up to 20, but sometimes it's just 3. And you better like everybody. You're going to see a lot of their face.
Yeah. Well, you're very interested in announcing.
Yes, that is my main goal. I'm hoping to expand my horizons because in racing you got to wear many hats if you're going to get anywhere in this game at this moment. But the main thing that I've wanted to do since I was 6 years old was be a race caller. I've currently called 78 races at 6 racetracks in 4 states. And if my luck's right today, this will be state number 5.
And number 79 for you.
Yep.
That's a big deal. And how old are you?
I am 20 years old.
Yeah, you're very young. You've got many, many years.
I sure hope I do.
To keep that number just I want to say we brought up Roger Houston is 84 years old and knows exactly, I think almost 84. Roger, please correct me if you're listening.
Hey, Roger.
But regardless, he's getting close to 185,000 races called or
like
somewhere
that.
around there. And
you said something earlier that really interested me, and you said you didn't know if you should use this word or not, but your lust for the sport, that you want to learn more and more. And tell us about that, how it seems like you can't get enough.
I think it started because I didn't grow up near a racetrack. Growing up in North Carolina, a lot of the horse racing I watched was on TV. And TV's great, it keeps me in the loop, or getting a blood horse subscription, but you're not there. So I think part of it, and the reason why, like today, with no racing going on at Indy, I drove 2.5 hours to get here, is the desire to make up for lost time, to see things, because also of the kind of sensitivity of the sport. There are tracks that I wish I could have gone to that no longer exist, but did 10 years ago, like Hollywood Park, Arlington Park. And so I really want to make sure that in the time that I have, that I see as much as possible, because it could be gone. I'm not saying racing itself is going to be gone, because I'm an optimist, and I wouldn't get very far if I thought I was on a dying something. But nothing here is set forever, and it kind of almost incentivizes me to enjoy everything while I can, because this sport's going to change, and I hope it's going to be for the better. I'll try to make sure it is for the better, but it's going to be different. So enjoy as much as possible, but also, I think just to live a happy life, you have to have something you're chasing. Not just a dream. It could be a location, a new thing. Always trying to try new things. I just hope that when I'm 30, when I'm 40, and so on, I have something new to chase, something that I'm hungry for.
Yeah, yep. That was what I thought you meant when you said that before, and I'm glad to hear that you're going to be keep moving forward, all the time moving forward. Well, you are going to announce a race later on in the card towards the end. Bill Peters has said that you can call a race.
He did, and I'm thrilled. I can't thank him enough. I went in today not expecting to call a race, but that's part of the great surprise of the sport, is just how kind and open people are to people who are just excited. My excitement has been my secret weapon to get me to all these opportunities. People wonder, how do I do all this? I don't know. But I just know that I come up with an authentic, excited, ebullient smile, and the rest just kind of works out for me.
That's perfect. That is your field. We're going to finish up a little bit with Nathan before we get to this race. How would people find out? Is there a website for the school? Do you remember it?
I think the best way to look it up is U of A, RTIP. That's the official acronym for the program. There is a U of A RTIP website. You can also just look up University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program.
Okay.
They have every form of social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc., etc. So that would be probably the best place to learn more about the program. If you got a young person who wants to do a 4-year degree in the sport of horse racing, I'd recommend it. Even those who aren't fully sure about horse racing, it's a really good program. You get so much personal accommodation because it is very small. So you get to carve out your own path and your own destiny.
That sounds great. And I think there's a lot of people that are not aware that there is a program such as that.
Well, I'll gladly tell everyone. I'll sing it from the rooftops. That's how I ever got here.
Have you ever called a harness race before?
I have, but not a lot. I've called 2 at Hoosier Park, and I've called 2 at Shenandoah Downs in Woodstock. Okay. Everything else was either quarter horse or thoroughbred.
Which is quite different. I mean, the race calls can be 180.
Absolutely. There's so much different terminology going on. The pace of the race is so different. I have to reel myself in and slow myself down. And then for quarter horse, I'm doing my best impression of an auctioneer. I'm pretty good at it, but...
Very quick race.
Yeah, but it's not the style I need for harness racing. You have to just get a different flow and style for each race.
Well, we wish you the best of luck throughout your entire career, and today, obviously, hope you enjoy it and have a good call.
Of course, you guys have been great to me. Thank you so much for all of this. I never thought that when I stepped in here, this is what I would be getting, such a warm welcome. So thank you so much for having me.
Well, you are welcome. We'll look forward to hearing you later on in the program.
Absolutely.
We're ready for the start. And we're off and racing. Always in range, right to the lead with Hunt Club. Nearest to the inside, What a All-Star. Followed then by, on the outside, Money Madness. Hugging the inside, it is 314. And the trailer early on is the Taxman as we go into the first turn. In front by a length now, it is Always in Range with What a All-Star. Off stride is Money Madness as we continue down past the quarter pole. Always in Range with Emmanuel Miller, a length in front of What a All-Star with Ed Greeno Jr. In third place, 314 with Nick Clegg. Then in fourth spot, it's Hunt Club with Duke Sugg. It's a gap back to Money Madness with Pierce Henry. And concluding the field, it is the Taxman with Curtis Harper as we are now rounding the turn, approaching the end of the first of 2 laps. Always in Range remains the leader. The opening quarter was in 34-2 as we hit the top of the stretch for the first of 2 times. Always in Range remains the boss. On the inside, What a All-Star with 314 in third, and then it is Hunt Club, a huge drop back to the Taxman, and then Money Madness as we hit the wire for the first time. The half mile in 1 minute 9 and 1. Into the turn once more. It is Always in Range in front by a full length. What a All-Star on the inside. 314 has moved up into second. They're going to the outside, only 3 parts of a length away from Always in Range. What a All-Star in third. Followed then by Hunt Club, and the trailers are Money Madness with the Taxman as we're back down the back stretch. Always in Range trying to take them gate to wire. They're in front by a length. 314 is within striking range. What a All-Star is in third. It's another 5 lengths back to Hunt Club. The 3/4 within 141 and 3 as we are rounding the far turn. Can Always in Range lead every step of the way. 314 is the biggest threat. A drop to What a All-Star. It's now a 2-horse race as we hit the top of the stretch. Always in Range, 314 trying to make up the difference, but Always in Range remains vigilant near the inside of the pylon. 314 chasing desperately in second, but they cannot catch Always in Range by 2 lengths. And it was 314, a gap back to What a All-Star with Hunt Club, and then it will be Money Madness, and at the back of the pack was the Taxman. The final time was 2 minutes 12 and 1.
Give that guy a job somewhere. I thought he killed it.
He did. Oh my goodness, 20 years old. He had no hiccups. Acted like he's done this a million times, and he's only called a handful of harness races.
I think this was his either third or fourth.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was impressed.
Me too.
By far. Oh my gosh. And that was Always in Range, and 2:12 and 1, I think, was our final mile time. Oh, he did such a good job.
That was young Nathan. Was it Nathan Miller? Nathan Klein, I'm sorry, the intern. He's interning for in Indiana this year. Since he's been 6 years old, he wanted to be a race caller. No horse background in his family, just saw it on TV and fell in love with it and did a really good job.
Seems like all of his experience this far has been thoroughbreds, and
Yes.
I give him all the props. I know nothing about thoroughbred racing. I am the first person to admit that, but I do know how different they are. And the fact that he can just pop over like that, and I hope he's proud of himself.
He should
He's
be.
very good.
He did an excellent job.
And I believe it was 2:6:13 across the wire. So Nathan has the excitement. He has everything in his voice. He's good. He's good. I'm excited. I hope we get more of him in harness racing. Truly, I hope that.
I mean, don't we have a couple of fairs we need somebody this year?
I
We might, right?
I wonder how long he's going to stay.
Yeah. He's just over in Indiana, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He said it was 2.5 hours to here.
So
Okay,
he might be
yeah.
in Indianapolis. I don't know.
Horseshoe?
Oh, yes. Yep.
that-
Horseshoe. Yep. He did say he's with
Yeah.
Horseshoe. That's around Indianapolis, right? There's Anderson is Hoosier Park.
Yeah.
Horseshoe is,
Indianapolis, I think.
it is Indianapolis. Okay.
I think.
I think so too. But yeah, it's just nice to get a young guy.
That excited about it, and like he knows what he wants to do, and I think he's going to be great at it.
Yeah.
And we'll have to
Wish I
catch
had
it when
that
it comes back
when I was
down.
20. You know, I had no idea this is what I was going to be doing.
Yeah. He knew when he was 6. I have to tell, kid was good. Now that's a good compliment. The kid was good.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Here he is.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Nathan. Fantastic job. Oh my
It
goodness.
was great.
You are a true professional up there. What did it feel like? Here, we'll give you a mic real quick.
And we've got some comments for you on our thing. Said, young announcer did great. And Doug Ballinger, who is a fantastic announcer, has been doing it for 50 years, said, great job, Nathan. One guy says that the kid was good. Yes, he was. So congratulations. You really did a great job.
No, we complimented you through and through. You had no hiccups. You really, 20 years old and you act like a professional. It was very good, especially because this is not, harness horses are not your expertise.
They're not, but you got to learn fast. One of the big things about being a race caller is Murphy's Law. Everything that can't go wrong will go wrong. You have to be ready for everything. And it's a lot more than just horses running in a circle, as we see. Some horses run, some of them hop, some of them trot, some of them canter, and some go the wrong way.
Yeah, you did a really wonderful job. So I think you have a great career ahead of you.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for just all the hospitality I've been given from everyone here at the Paulding County Fairgrounds. You've made a detour into a great memory.
Well, good. I said we hope it was kind of a bit of a drive for you over. Are you in Indianapolis? Is that
Yes.
the general area you're in right now? Okay. So it was a little bit of a drive over for you, but we hope that it was worth it by all means. You did a fantastic job, and we even said, we hope we get more of you in harness racing.
Well, for my next fair visits, I'm hoping the next fair that I attend is in Indiana, Corydon. And I also hope to either do the Clinton or the Lebanon Fair in Ohio. Those two are already on my to-do list, and the Shelbyville Fair.
Oh, wow.
Oh, perfect. So we
good.
will see you.
Yeah,
we will see you.
then.
And if we cross paths again, we hope we do, and we'll have you on again.
Absolutely. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Well, congratulations. I mean, heck.
Very good job.
Yeah, very good job.
Very good.